Within us all, there lie dreams. I ignored the fear that we use to suppress them. I listened to my inner voice. My dream was to explore Africa. Since a small boy, Africa had captivated my imagination. The whole expedition was literally a blizzard of emotions, from joy, amazement and triumph, right through to worry, fright and in some cases terror. But it was much more than a 24,000-mile drive from South Africa to England. Initially I thought it was going to be mostly about the animals, and that was my main focus. But I was to become much more deeply touched by Africa.
Yeah, this is pretty incredible. I've never seen this many seals in my entire life. It's amazing. Actually, what's more amazing than the sight is probably the smell, because it's pretty darn smelly. Here at Boulders Beach on the Western Cape Peninsula of South Africa is one of the last refuges of the jackass penguin right behind me. There's only a few places in the world that they're found. Now you can't see why they're called jackass penguins, but if you open your ears, you can definitely hear why they're called jackass penguins. There was an enormous amount of preparation. We had to literally transform a restored 1971 Land Rover into an expedition vehicle that would be our home for the next year. In addition to the Land Rover, we had to use other forms of transport, and that included things like a dugout canoe, a light aircraft, and even a bike. This is one of the few things that we've seen that looks anything like food around here. But anyway, I'm going to see what it tastes like. It's very juicy inside. It tastes terrible. Wow. Everyday chores were sometimes quite a challenge, even something like eating. In fact, that's our most often asked question. What did you eat? Okay, this here is Nile River water. It's the standard water that everybody in this town drinks. But I'm actually going to try it, okay? Doesn't taste very good at all. Not bad. Sugar and lime and ginger and absolutely delicious.
Ostrich.
The only way to ensure that the meat's going to be fresh is to buy it live. Bon appetit.
Taking a bath and doing laundry was sometimes very, very difficult, but we solved that problem simply by getting used to being very, very dirty. Amid all the exciting and spectacular things that we saw and did, there were also some very, very tough times. It was emotionally very trying to be away from my wife for so long, and the satellite phone was our only emotional umbilical cord. I was very lucky that my wife Gina was so supportive. She seemed to put all her own emotional needs aside so that I could pursue this dream. But despite all the adversity, it was an absolutely phenomenal experience, and very quickly the focus shifted away from the animals and onto exploring the people of Africa, their rich traditions, cultures and personalities. We couldn't have done it without the help of the local people. Like the time we came across this huge spider and we had to ask what would happen if it bit us.
It will kill you.
Well, in Kenya, we came across two Samburu warriors who were searching for their cows. So we decided to help and spent the rest of the afternoon driving through the bush. But little could prepare us for some of our more bizarre encounters. It was the kids that definitely meant the most because of their wonderful spirit and how they seemed so content with so very, very little. Now, much more than just an expedition through Africa, it was the kids that inspired me to develop the Edventure as an internet project for schools. The educational projects involved an ascent of Kilimanjaro to look at GPS navigation and the biological effects of altitude. But my favourite project was the world's highest bungee jump, where we looked at the science of gravity.
Right, and Dennis is jumping on the biggest bungee cord in the world.
Dennis, about 3 seconds.
We're on the top of Kilimanjaro and we're sending a diary entry that we've just written with an attached picture, digital picture we've just taken. We're using a Mini M satellite phone to send the email or the diary entry directly to the website.
As well as diary entries, we sent back lots of pictures and even streamed video clips to go with the educational projects and activities. But the website was also used as a platform to document the entire trip. So there you go, 24,000 miles, 11 months, 23 countries, 3 robberies, 1 carjacking, all come together to make one fantastic adventure.